Good morning, guys. Parker back here. Um, Today's video is just something simple. I was gonna do it outside, but there's a construction going on in the alley. So today we're gonna do a review, the pros and cons of my four-wheeler. It's a 2008 Yamaha Raptor. Oh shit. But before we get into all that nasty business, let's go ahead and grab ourselves a dip. Good old Copenhagen wintergreen keeps the heart a-pumping. I know a lot of you grizzly dippers out there won't say that, but... Alright, anyway, back to it. So let's go ahead and start with the cons, and then I'll do the pros, and then I'll do like an overall review of what my final thoughts are on the four-wheeler. So the biggest con that I think I've come up with is the weight. The Raptor 700 weighs about 422 pounds. That's dry. And then if you compare it to something that's a little bit more of a racing quad, like a YFZ 450, those are about 350 dry weight. So that's kind of where I'm sitting. I'm not a very heavy guy, so the weight isn't really my friend. But like my buddy Connor, who was riding it in the last video, or Tuna, who was not around during the last video, those two can handle that four-wheeler just perfectly. The height of the four-wheeler, I'm not talking about like ground to bottom, or ground to like bottom of the frame. I'm talking about like from the frame to the top of the seat. That is remarkably tall. It helps out with my long legs and everything, but at the end of the day, it's the height makes it kind of tippy. It's like the height to width ratio isn't correct. And I know it's supposed to be like a trailing quad slash racing quad, but that's the reason I bought it, is because the 700 is supposed to be a trailing quad, and I'm not a racer. I trail. But I'm starting to look more towards like a YFZ 450, because those characteristics of that specific four-wheeler help me out with the characteristics of my body type and like what my body weight can handle to the weight of the four-wheeler. The tippiness, I've thought about doing like +2 or +1.5 or +3 upper and lower control arms on the front, and then maybe a wire axle for the rear. But at the end of the day, I don't know if that really helped because of the weight. I mean, that thing is pretty top heavy. I mean, the ground clearance is pretty good. It's probably 12 to 14 inches. And then it's another foot and a half from the bottom of the frame to the top of the seat. Maybe even 2 foot. But other than that, that's pretty much the cons. It's pretty much just all riding statistics. I'm not saying it's a bad four-wheeler. It's a great four-wheeler. But then now to the pros. The pros that I like about this Raptor 700 is, one, the length of travel, like front tire to rear tire. It's really helpful for going down a steep ditch, or when you go up on a wheelie. The back wheels are set far enough back that wheelie doesn't come too quick. It comes like smoothly. But that might also just be because of the weight. I really like the height, like not because of the tippiness, but because of my long legs. I like the drop to the pegs, and I don't know, that's just something I really like. I'm really fallen in love with the whole fuel injection. I've never owned something that was fuel injected on a power sport piece of machinery. So the options of speedometer and fuel sensors and fuel regulators and chips, they're endless. It's truly amazing how many mods you can put onto this four-wheeler just to make it advance quicker and quicker. Like you can do a turbo. This specific four-wheeler already has a ported head for a turbo. I think the guy that owned it before me was wanting to port it, or wanting to turbo it. I don't know if I'm going to, just because I don't know how much longer I'm going to own it. But when I do get rid of it, if I ever do, it'll be for a really nice YFZ 450. Overall review of the four-wheeler is, I really like the four-wheeler. I mean, the power is great. It doesn't hesitate for any gear. You can start off in first, second, third, or fourth, but I wouldn't advise that. I don't know. I can only get a wheelie up in second, and then sometimes shift to third depending on the type of ground I'm on. It's too heavy to get up on gravel. I really like this specific one. It's the red and black special edition, I believe. I looked up the name of the special edition at one point, but they only made like 4,000 to 6,000 of them in 2008, and then they made 2,000 to 3,000 in 2009, and then that was the end of it. And this one is in remarkable condition. It's only been crashed once by me, of course. I'll put a picture of what I looked like after the crash. Like the gearing. The gearing is on the Raptor 700s. The gearing is really smooth. Like first gear, there's not a whole lot there, but when you shift to second gear, there's a lot more there, but it feels like you got the same torque as in first gear. So it really is smooth. I have a track out in my parents' grove, and I can go out there in third gear, go around the corner that's pretty tight, and slow down to 3 or 4 miles an hour, and then give it gas and it goes. There's no hesitation. That's one of my favorite things about the four-wheeler. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on it. Next weekend, today is Monday, so in 4 days I'm going to be doing a video where I'm bringing the four-wheeler back down to where my parents live, and we'll do a lot better riding video without music in the background. It'll be a raw video. Yeah, one more thing. When I was talking about the length from the front wheel to the rear wheel, that was in comparison to my buddy's Raptor 660. His wheels look like here's the front wheel. His back wheel looks like it's tucked underneath more. And when I rode his and went up for a wheelie, it felt like it bounced really easily. So that's what I was getting at with that. By the time you get the Raptor up for a wheelie, it's time to shift into third. For me anyway. I don't have the body weight to tug it back like you're supposed to. But yeah, just letting you guys know what my thoughts are on the Raptor 700. Mine's a 2008 special edition. And to see more content, like and subscribe. Comment if you want to. Good or bad, it don't matter, just leave them. And also saying I have a new Instagram for the channel where I will be selling merch, just posting short videos, pictures. You know, it's the social way, or it's the social media way to keep up with my life. So go ahead and follow that. It's LIVE underscore LOUD underscore product, PRODUCT. It'll come up, picture of me. I don't think it's privacy, so go ahead and follow that. Like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.